Breath of Fire 1. What a breath of fresh air for just the JRPG genre in general at the time of its release. What's really strange is that even though the game was made by Capcom, and Capcom had no problems releasing their games in North America at the time, for some reason Squaresoft published Breath of Fire 1 in America. And I'll tell you, having that Square logo on the box probably helped sell a lot of copies and helped, propel this game into the popularity that it had so that people knew about it. Breath of Fire 1 is a game that just takes the JRPG formula and says, what if the main character could, go Super Saiyan, like Goku, right? What if he could just become, super freaking powerful? Okay. What if he turned into a dragon? What if that was the main character's thing in every Breath of Fire game, was turn into a dragon? And the first iteration of it, they didn't balance it, at all. I don't know if they even tried to. I think they said balance every single thing in this game except the dragon form. Make that feel as ridiculously overpowered as possible. Which isn't to say you've got a Arc the Lad 1 situation where your main character is the only good character and everyone else sucks. But no one's going to be as good as the main character. The only one who comes close, as I have a little note here of, is KARN. KARN, in the Japanese version, was an extremely racist depiction. Think early colorized movies in America where they took black actors and put blacker paint on their faces to make them look blacker, and then put red lipstick on them to accentuate the lips. That kind of racist. 1993 Japan, everybody. KARN looks like the most racist ass black stereotype you can possibly imagine. But hey, where do you think they got the idea from? Maybe looking at American media. So we're to blame for that. I'm not saying I'm not saying the onus is on them, but because they're outside of the country, they just oh yeah, you made KARN look incredibly effing racist. Wow, okay. And then in the North American version, KARN, the black thief, okay? Seriously. What they decided in North America wouldn't be racist? Was to make KARN Latino. Y'all just made a racist character, and no matter what, KARN is going to be a racist character, so if that's going to bother you or offend you, then maybe don't play Breath of Fire 1, I guess. But KARN's the second best character in the game, because they got the Dragon Ball concept for this game. That was the origin of its creation, was just, what if the main character could just go Super Saiyan, and make a JRPG around that. KARN knows how to do the fusion dance, another thing from Dragon Ball Z. See, you got 8 party members in this game, and it's kind of inevitable that you're going to only favor a couple of them, and a couple you're just going to leave in the back and never use. Well, KARN can fuse with other party members when you find other thieves in the world that teach him different fusion dances. And, yeah, he's pretty much just always, the best party member other than the main character, because he can always adapt to the situations at hand. And, he absorbs their stats. We're talking most other people in the game doing, let's say 40-45 damage with their regular attacks, right? KARN, when he's all fused and beefed up, he's probably gonna be doing 250, probably. And And yeah, so Karn's overpowered. You should always have him in your party, because there's this one part. Let me think. It's like maybe a little before midway through the game. You go up to this like crazy floating island continent thing, and you go to this shrine on top of it, and you can't really do anything there. It's just like you have to go there to like trigger like a story flag or whatever. I think it's called Aquas. I don't really remember the name of all the stuff in Breath of Fire 1. But there's like hidden treasures on that screen that are invisible. You have to go up and examine some pillars, and it's like one of the only times in the game that there's an invisible treasure that you just can't pick up from a treasure chest. But there's like a really, really good protective gear. But the main thing is that Karn's best knife in the entire game, you can get like halfway through the game, and so his attack power is always capped out, and everyone else pales in comparison to him, because you can just go, oh, here's the ultimate effing knife. Like, we haven't even like got to the point of the plot yet, but here's your ultimate weapon. And that's the best thing about Breath of Fire 1. It's not quite a Metroidvania game, but it's full of secrets like a Metroidvania game. Like, you're highly rewarded for your exploration, not just with like, consumables or resources, but I mean like some extra stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Which is something that got exacerbated, thankfully, in subsequent games. But that was like one of the calls to arms for Breath of Fire, was make exploration exciting for the player by adding extended gameplay mechanics as a result of that exploration. That's how you get your new dragon forms. You have to go find a dragon shrine and beat a dragon trial, and you get these. Yeah, you can do these dragon forms. And like one of the best kept secrets. I mean, back in the day, we're talking when you had to pay $1.99 per minute to call the Nintendo counseling hotline, so you only did it if you were like stuck in a game and couldn't progress. You didn't call the Nintendo hotline, just to find secrets. You called to figure out how the hell to get through the game. Long before the internet or anything like that, if you found the Infinity Dragon without having to wait a year and a half for it to be printed in Nintendo Power and EGM and Game Fan, if you actually found the frickin' Infinity Dragon on your own, then you got a really effing good memory. Because it's not until you're at like the end of the game and you have every dragon form that eventually it's like, hey, remember way back at the beginning of the game when you had to go to that holy spring in that cave and like draw the holy water from it? Yeah. Remember how you had to walk down some stairs to get to the water? Yeah. You know how you can breathe underwater now because you got the gills and all that? Yeah. Go all the way back toward that one obscure ass cave and go back down into the water, and then you go down the steps. And then you're underwater in an ancient dragon shrine. And at the bottom of it, there's the last dragon spirit. And he just teaches you the Infinity Dragon form, which, has gotten a lot of different translations over the years. It's also called the Kaiser Dragon. It's a lot of different translations. G Dragon in Breath of Fire 2. It's the Kaiser Dragon. Usually. That's like the ultimate thing. Strangely, I think the closest thing to Kaiser Dragon in Breath of Fire 1 is probably the second to last form. Because the final form, the Infinity Dragon, it looks like a crazy ass lion chimera dragon thing with a bunch of antlers and horns coming out of its back and shoulders. And it also takes the entire party to fuse together into it. It's pretty nuts. But no, Breath of Fire 1 is dope. Definitely, the concept was an arcade-style JRPG with an overpowered main character that can turn into a freaking dragon, yeah, man, you definitely feel like an overpowered, crazy Super Saiyan in dragon form, stomping on fools, finding secrets, getting new stuff, fishing in wells and finding all the legendary dragon armor, kind of a callback to the Erdrick's armor from Dragon Quest. Breath of Fire, in its roots and origins, took a little bit of this from Dragon Quest and a little bit of that from Final Fantasy, and then put them all together with a very interesting thematic world full of a bunch of different anthropomorphized tribes. Cat people, dog people, mole people, plant people, winged Windians, and dragon people. And you always play one of these games as a member of the dragon tribe in some capacity. And now, here's a little tidbit for you. Do you remember where the tower is at the end of Breath of Fire 1? In the southwestern corner of the map? Yeah, remember the evil tower in the end of Breath of Fire 4, how it was in the southwest part of the map? Don't you think it's interesting how that evil began as a tower that was boring its way into the planet in the same spot? Don't you think that's interesting? I think it's interesting, but these games aren't connected, are they? Anyway, hey, I'm having fun. Let's get on to one of the best games of all time. Let's go. Thanks for listening. I hope you continue to stick around and listen to me get excessively drunker, because I'm about to chug this, and we're going to talk about a fun one next. Stay tuned. God bless.